What's up, Michael fans and everybody else who watches my channel? I'm back with another. I I want to say it's kind of a review for, well, not a review for me, but I'm here to get Taj's thoughts on the film. He saw it last Friday. You know me, I've seen it 3 times already. My thoughts have not really changed on the film. I still give it a 8 out of 10. I feel as if that's fair. I also put up another video today, just trying to address some of the weird critiques that people have for this film. I understand why this film is held to such a high regard for certain people. It's freaking Michael Jackson. I get that, but I just wanted to, give my thoughts on that. So go check that video out. But yeah, everybody loves the videos that I seem to do with Taj outside of that initial one when everybody just got the wrong idea.
Bro, I was tired that day, man. Like, can people let it go?
But since then, they wait in anticipation for these. So yeah, like what were your thoughts on the film? I mean, I know, but the audience does not. What were your thoughts on the film? We've been waiting on this joint for years now, and like it's here, and now we have a sequel coming as well, which is
Hype.
It's hype and unheard of for a biopic. But when you have a figure like Michael Jackson,
It's Michael Jackson.
You can't just do it in one. So like,
he's the only person that should get a 2-part biopic, except for I guess the Beatles, they getting like 4, which I don't know why, because ain't nobody watching the other 2. People just gonna watch John Lennon and Paul McCartney, so I don't get that. But I enjoyed the movie. Experience and enjoyment wise, I gave it a 10 out of 10. If I had to critique it, I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. It definitely needed to be longer because it felt like it went past really quick. Obviously, Diana Ross pulled out of the movie, so they had to delete a bunch of her stuff, which was like super important for Michael and like his growth. Not her specifically, but things that happened connected to her. So we didn't get the Wiz. We didn't get to see like him like get more interested in the films. He meets Quincy Jones on the set of the Wiz. Like all of that stuff happens, and because of that, like the movie did feel a little short. It was jarring only having like 5 siblings in the movie.
No, that was weird because it's like
it was so weird. We just kept saying Latoya.
You just omit them all together. I was hoping that we would be able to like, oh yeah, Janet's something.
They didn't sign on, so they couldn't mention them.
Yeah, which is shocking though. Like I didn't know that. I was under the impression that okay, yeah, they didn't sign off for their likenesses to be used, but maybe just a name drop. So or just go see what your brother and sister are doing. Or at this point,
well, even a throwaway line like.
Yeah, like just a throwaway line. Reby was out the house at this point, so it didn't. She
not
didn't
not
really
even
matter
that. Like you could have mentioned what she was doing, but like even a throwaway line, like Joe could have been like Janet saw filming Good Times or something. Like you could have just threw that in or something.
Yeah.
Like, but they probably couldn't use the names either, so it was really weird.
I'm under the impression that if this film wasn't. Like if the estate wasn't tied to this, I feel as if they would have been involved because yes, Graham King, everybody, Graham King is the producer on the film. I don't know why people are under the impression that Jermaine Jackson had anything to do with this film because he didn't know that Jafar had anything to do with this film for about a year. I don't know why people are under that impression.
They're all under like American Dream credits. So, they're all under producer credits, but that's only because they signed on and it's their estate, like their family estate and Michael and stuff like that. That's so the extent that they had.
Yeah, and then they had to, of course. Yeah, they didn't even all the brothers didn't even meet all the actors because Joseph, who plays Jackie, he said his first time meeting Jackie was at the world premiere. So not even signing off on their castings. They just signed off on their likenesses being used. Like that's about it.
The biggest involvement from any Jackson besides Jafar was Prince. because he was actually
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
He was actually on set. He's actually helping produce the movie and stuff like that. So like he was there. He was involved.
Yeah, that's about it. When you said Prince, I started thinking about Prince, the artist.
Oh no. Come
I
on,
don't know.
man.
I don't know why my brain went there. I just started thinking about Prince, the artist. I'm like, Prince. He was in I'm like, oh, Prince Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's weird to think about, but at this, like, I didn't think that, oh, not signing off on your likeness meant like don't mention me at all. I thought that was that was interesting to me. But all in all, even like I said, the people that complain about this are the same ones that say, oh yeah, this wasn't better than American Dream, and then you're mad because Janet wasn't in it. But honestly, Janet wasn't really in American Dream.
She wasn't in that either.
We saw her as a toddler, and
Yeah, that was
Angela
it.
Bassett said her name one time. So that was
She
it.
like
And
she, like,
again,
told her to,
she
like,
was
turn up the
involved
TV
in
or
that.
something. Yeah. But that's before everything went sideways though. So I kind of understand.
So
at
so
that
it's
point.
like, yeah, so it's like I get tired of trying of seeing those critiques like online, like, oh, Janet wasn't.
It's so stupid.
Everybody knew Janet wasn't in it. Okay. And even if you didn't, if you did a simple internet search and looked up the cast for this film, you would have seen nobody was cast. And I feel bad for people because they can't tell the difference between AI and what's real. Remember that AI image of Halle, Nia Long, and Jessica Sula that was going around? Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
You didn't see that? It was a whole AI image of them, like, as
I know people want Holly to play Janet, but like I didn't see the image.
Like in the image, they even made like they made Nia Long like bigger. It was so weird, and then people thought it was real.
Wow.
I'm about to bring it up. People legitimately thought, like, they thought this was real.
Oh.
And you can tell this is AI.
Yeah, that don't even look like they took that together. Like Nia Long didn't even look like that in the movie.
Exactly. People legitimately thought this was real. And so, like, I look online, and then talking about man, wasn't Halle attached? No. They announced the family. They announced these castings. Like, they announced LaToya was announced when they announced Kat Graham and Lorenz Tate as Berry Gordy. They announced the brothers in like February of 2024.
Yeah.
So like, and all of that was all over the internet. All of that was all over the internet. Yes, I get if you're not in touch with like the internet or you just see stuff and keep scrolling. I get that. But you could have simply just looked that up. And for the simple fact that at the start of April, that's when all the hit pieces were coming out, and they mentioned that Janet was not in this film. So at some point, I just feel as if that's just rage bait, that you're trying to use that as a knock to the film, and trying to say like, oh, they couldn't include her. No, she didn't want to be included. That's it. That's all. It happens. It's unfortunate, but it happens.
Yeah.
But like, what was one of your biggest, like, you said like certain stuff had to be taken out. I agree with you for like the Wiz and stuff. I feel as if that was a huge missed opportunity, especially since we know they had that planned when Coleman accidentally spoiled the looks for the film from his trailer back in March, which was honestly hilarious because he took that post down fast.
He took it down quick as hell.
But yeah, like they had those plans. I honestly. And for part 2, I want them to do at least try to do some flashbacks, because it's stuff like with the Triumph tour that didn't feel like a tour. That was it was on. All we saw was Mike on stage singing Ben the whole time.
I mean, I get why they did it. It's a 2-hour movie. Like, it's hard to put all of that in. I'm sorry. It's just
true.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, that's gonna be a nitpick for any music biopic, especially like for one that had like such a long lasting career. it's like it's gonna be hard to do like big concert stuff, especially the way that the industry is now post like COVID and stuff. It's kind of hard to do all of that now. Yeah, I mean it bothered me, but they always skip over the Triumph era, which sucks. They skip over the Jackson's era, period, and that's like my favorite era. Like,
yeah, I was really hoping because it was a fake image of all the brothers together in the Triumph era, like during the Jackson's era. I thought that they would at least touch on that.
There's been a whole bunch of stuff releasing too, like behind the scene videos of him singing like "Rock with You" and stuff like that.
Yep,
like it's a whole bunch that got cut
during the Dangerous era. I honestly believe. I think we're gonna see like Rock with You and all of that stuff. We're gonna see that like in part 2, like all of that stuff that they filmed, like those performances. We're gonna see that in part 2. And
as a flashback?
No, he was singing Rock with You when during the Dangerous tour. That's when he was singing Rock with You.
I couldn't tell. The video wasn't like the best quality, so I couldn't really love
it. It was when he's wearing the white shirt and the black pants with his hair tied.
Oh, okay. So he's singing, like, wait, what the fuck?
He's singing, he was singing Rock with You during the Dangerous tour. So that's like during the Dangerous era. I don't know if it was the actual tour, but yeah, like doing that. I know the like some of the musicians that were like for the Bad tour and stuff and went on to do the Dangerous tour, they teased a lot of the songs being used. I know that they're attempting to do the they're trying to do Earth Song. They're gonna do Earth Song, like that performance and everything. Heal the World, they're trying to do that performance. The Super Bowl, they're gonna do the Super Bowl performance. Like that's one of the things that they talked about doing. Seeing Jafar recreate
that is too much.
It's a lot.
Too much. If stuff is going to continue to get cut because they can't include everything, then it's not going to like this. It's going to suffer, unfortunately. Even if it's really good, like it's going to suffer. Jafar said he wanted to recreate Smooth Criminal. Listen, if they fucking do that, I'm gonna leave the theater.
No, I need them to do Smooth Criminal. I need them to do it.
And it's not even really I'm gonna walk out because it's bad. I'm gonna walk out because I'm gonna start dancing. I'm gonna have to remove myself. That's my favorite video. Yeah. I love that music video.
So I need them to do Smooth Criminal. And honestly, I don't want them to solely rely on recreating the music videos this time around. Because honestly, if the film was cut differently, I don't think people would have those complaints. But at the same time, I don't get that complaint. People trying to say it's no narrative through line. The film is about Michael, like his origin. The film is about him trying to overcome a overbearing figure, which is his father. And honestly, if you want to compare it to American Dream, Michael was trying to break away from the family in that miniseries as well. He just wasn't the main focus, but he was definitely trying. He was definitely trying to break away. Then it's scenes where they're like, "Oh, we can't even get a meeting with our brother." Yada yada yada. They explored that more. I did a video on the Victory Tour and how messy that was. I wanted them to explore that. I wanted them to explore the fact that
they couldn't.
I wanted them to talk about.
They can't talk the Paula Abdul stuff. They can't talk about all that stuff.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fact that Michael wouldn't even travel with them.
No, I get that, but it's a lot of stuff they probably can't talk about, like just legally, or people didn't sign on. It's just,
but and like I feel as if they filmed the scene where Don King was announcing it because Michael was literally wearing that outfit. They just used it for something else. They used it for they used that outfit that he was wearing in the press conference for the Victory Tour for when he went to go meet with Walter Yetnikoff and do the whole Billie Jean thing, which was also an inaccuracy because Thriller wasn't filmed yet at that time.
They got a few things wrong in this movie. Yeah. I get why they did it, but it just didn't make like them performing Motown songs before they got signed to Motown. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But I understood why. Giuliano killed. Giuliano killed never can say.
I understood why they were doing it because they didn't focus on the era a lot. So it was like, okay, this isn't Jackson's The American Dream, where you got to see all those hits and then perform all of that stuff. So we're going to give you these songs. Obviously, it's not going to make sense because they're, they weren't signed yet, but just to give y'all these songs so y'all hear them at least.
Yeah. How did you feel about them doing Big Boy? Like, that's a deep cut. I was not expecting that at all.
I was surprised they did that. I was surprised they did Stand.
I was too. But again,
I was like, I was in the
killed
theater.
that.
I was the only one like singing because I was like, do y'all not know Stand? But it's not like one of their big known hits. But I know it just being a music head myself, just knowing that song. I was like, oh, they playing this song. And my sister was like, what song is this? I was like, it's Stand by the Jackson 5. It's like their first album or whatever.
Like my wife was like, what song are they singing? Like, what's Big Boy? I'm like, this is one of their first recorded out. This is like before Motown.
This is before Motown, yeah.
I'm like that's legitly one of the Jackson 5's earliest tunes. Like, I get why they were doing it, but I will say my favorite performances. I'm so glad that they did the actual choreography for ABC, because in American Dream, I did not like the choreography they did. I don't know why. They did all original choreography in the miniseries, but I love the fact that they went and learned these routines, and we're getting to see all of that behind the scenes footage. Like, that's dope to me. That's dope to me.
They only showed them doing like 2 dances in American Dream, though, in terms of like the choreography for certain hits. Like, I Want You Back. We need to get to see the whole thing. It started and it was already like going.
Yeah,
and
it still wasn't a real
Machine. Dancing Machine was a different choreo too, but that choreo changed a couple times, even from their original thing, because they do it differently sometimes.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't care.
I didn't mind, and I will say, since people do want to compare, Jason Weaver is goated as Michael. If Giuliano got to do more of those emotional scenes, which I'm sure he did, but they were on the cutting room floor, we could. If people want to compare, that's why I also say it's not fair to compare anything. They're both goated in their own rights.
You can't compare when one is called The Jacksons, plural, more than one. It's focused on the family. Stop comparing this. I keep saying it, and I'm just like, I'm not responding to nobody.
And half the people comparing it don't even know the name of the miniseries. I'm so tired of seeing people say Jackson 5 American Dream. No, that's not it.
Yeah, that's not it.
You don't even know the title, bro. But how did you feel about how they approached his first rhinoplasty? How do you feel about that? Because
I didn't like that, because that was wrong.
That pissed me.
I don't know. Maybe they couldn't talk, but like, if they couldn't, it wasn't that deep. He broke his nose in dance practice.
Exactly.
Like,
looking at a picture of Peter Pan and then looking at the album cover. I mean, they did have the nose look over big on that album cover. But I mean, I don't. And then when Joe sees him, even though that scene is hilarious, and
that scene is funny.
He said it's for my sinuses. No, that's what the second one was for.
That's what the second one was for. Yeah,
because the first one messed it up.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't think the first surgery messed it up. I just don't think they cleaned it up all too well after you broke your nose. When you break your nose, it's a lot. It's intricate. And this is in what, like, that was like the 70s.
That was the early 80s.
Early 80s. So of course I'm not trusting,
because he didn't have the surgery during Off the Wall. That happened after. So
yeah, it happened during when he was trying to work out routines, which I understand, but that also leads into the whole perfectionist of it all, because you don't hear about him hurting himself like that. Like, of course, we hear that when he broke his ankle and was hurting his toes and stuff like that, because, I mean, you're constantly spinning, you're doing all this choreography. Of course, you're going to hurt your ankle, stuff like that, but I don't think we heard about him falling on his face after that initial thing.
Maybe they couldn't, like, talk about it. Like, maybe that's just something they couldn't talk about, which, if that is the case, then that's unfortunate that they had to make that change, because it's like, damn.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that bad, but I do think it has something to do with the estate. Like, they maybe couldn't mention that or whatever. But I don't know. I'm happy they touched on the Vinilago stuff. I'm happy they touched on that.
You saw that throughout the film, and I thought that was
like him
really
putting the makeup on and stuff. Like
putting the makeup on when he's sitting in the pool, like when he's just at home, he's not trying to hide it, because of course his brothers already know. He's not trying to hide it.
Was funny as fuck. He was like, "I gotta get these songs out now. God might give him the Prince." I was dying.
It's just the fact that his brother started laughing and he looked over like, "What?" Like,
hey man, listen, it might be a different conversation.
How did you feel about Louis when he was first talking about go to work with Quincy? That very first scene, I didn't know he was talking to a llama at first. when it showed the llama, my theater, every single showing that I went to, my theater started busting up laughing because nobody's expecting him to be talking to a llama.
That scene, people was laughing at like him walking it, but the scene that really made people laugh and go like, "Oh," was the bubble scene. Like everybody was like, "Oh," but then seeing everybody's reaction to Bubbles get off the truck, and they was all just looking like, "What the fuck?" That monkey was cute. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
and
weird. The movie was just
people
really
try-
short. I was like, man,
Yeah.
fuck.
But honestly, when you see it a second and a third time, you don't feel the runtime. Like it feels better. But I guess it's because you know what to. It's just because you know what to expect. At least for me, it felt better. And honestly, like I said, each time Jafar absolutely nails Michael's mannerisms, his spirit. He feels like Michael. I'm so glad they did the Pepsi burn. I was not expecting the Pepsi jingle, though. I was not expecting to see that. I'm so glad we got a little bit of it, and you could tell that was Jafar singing. That was Jafar singing live on there. The start of "Don't Stop Till You Get Enough." That was him singing by himself.
No, I know. I had to tell my sister. I was like,
Ben,
she was like, "Is that him singing?" I was like, "That's him actually singing. That's not Michael Jackson." And she was like, "Really?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, honestly, him and Giuliano both like sung the acapella stuff.
They sung everything. It's just they layered Michael's vocals over him.
You can tell that was Giuliano singing doing "Who's Loving You" because I know that song like by heart. I was like, "Oh no, that key is different. That's different. No, that's him singing." I was like, "Okay."
Bad is in a different key because Jafar's singing voice is technically a little bit lower. It's deeper. Yeah. So you could tell it's in a different. You could tell everybody's like, y'all know that's not just Michael singing. And you can't try to call us liars because Jafar has talked about it. The movie producers have talked about it. The people in charge of the music have talked about it. You're not gonna have Jafar lip singing and have a band playing live. That does not make sense.
Yeah, that's stupid.
And that's the one thing I love. The music sounds and feels authentic. As a musician, I love that I could look up there. I could see that everybody, they hired real musicians. They went and learned this music verbatim and they played it live. I loved that. I really did love that. And the fact that Jafar with Bad, he took that performance and he made it his own. Watching that side by side with the actual Wembley footage, he did more than Michael did, but it was all Michael mannerisms.
I felt uncomfortable. I felt so uncomfortable.
It felt like you was looking at Michael,
not even in a bad way. I was like, why do I feel like I'm actually watching him and he's been gone for like almost 10? Oh no, it's been more than 10 years.
Yeah, it's been more than 10 years.
It's almost 20 now. Jesus. Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, like I felt uncomfortable in a good way. I was like, dude, I feel like I'm watching a ghost. This feels weird. I can't do this. I kept looking away at some points because I was like, dude, no, stop. I can't with this. Him recreating Don't Stop Till You Get Enough, like the music video. And when you line it up with the actual video, it's like, no, it's like band for band. He's doing every step. Like, it's no misses. Like, he practiced the fuck out of that, bro.
Give that man his flowers. Exactly. Another thing with Giuliano, when he was in the studio and he was singing "I Want You Back," and he did that little gesture when he was saying, "And now when I see you," and he did the little point, I said, "Oh, okay. I see what kind of time you on. I see what kind of time you on, Giuliano." But then when he's sitting at the table talking to Catherine, and I was sitting there thinking, but it's just, I know that they went to vocal training. I know we heard about how Jafar learned how to talk like Michael. When you hear Giuliano talk in real life, that's not how he sounded in that movie.
He sounds completely different. Yeah.
And he sounds like how young Michael sounded. I said, we're not praising this little boy enough. We're not talking about him enough.
I think because Jason Weaver exists, it's kind of hard to. I think the comparisons, like with what's his name? Wally?
Yeah,
it's different because he was only adult Michael, like pretty much the end of the movie, like or the miniseries or whatever. Like, so we didn't get a lot. So, and people are still comparing him to Jafar. I don't think there's a comparison, but with Jason also had to sing, and he sung "Who's Loving You" as well And listen, his sound almost identical
Oh,
to
literally.
Michael as well. Like, so it's like it's hard to compare. Those two did a really good job to where I'm like, they're not gonna say equal because we got more. I don't know. Just people stop comparing.
Yeah,
I just
the I'll be there performance when he jumped down and started singing. I love that iteration. I have to find what version they were doing because I loved that version. I love the version of Never Can Say Goodbye that they did.
It's live performances. Never Can Say Goodbye was from they did a show. I can't remember. If I find it, I'll send it to you. But that one I recognize immediately because that's one of my favorite songs by them. The I'll Be There one, I can't remember which one that was on, like what show that was on. But I know it was a live performance though.
Yeah, and honestly, extracting those vocal files and layering them over worked perfectly because, of course, when you go see it, you want to hear Michael, but at the same time,
I'm not gonna lie.
You're also hearing the actors, and it was better than American Dream. It was a white dude doing all the adult Michael singing, so.
I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't be mad if they was like, all right, y'all want to see more Jackson 5 stuff? We already got the cast. Let's just do a little mini series that takes place in between.
I would love
when
that.
He's like, like when they get to Motown and
just throw some Jackson 5 in part 2.
I love the fact. They're not doing that. I'm telling you now. The Jackson 5 won't be in it. Unfortunately, they're probably going to go right past. Yeah, it sucks. But it's about him, so it's kind of like I get it. I'm glad they had Gladys Knight in the movie because that's how they got discovered. She was performing at the fucking Apollo, and Susan DePass was there because they were performing.
She was there, but she's not that's not how it happened, though. She wasn't the one that told Joe about Motown.
No. I know. I'm saying, like, I'm happy she was there because that's how they got discovered.
Yeah,
like they were there because everybody act like no, it was Diana. I did too. I was like,
try to flirt with her. It's the way he was looking at her, like, you like my boy? Motown. Yeah. Like, Joe, stop staring at her like that. Every time I look at Laura Harrier, I just think about the fact that she just played a 16-year-old a couple years ago.
Yeah, but she was like 25 or some shit. Like,
I was like, "Oh, stop praying on her, Coleman, stop."
Yeah,
he said Motown. But no, all in all, I thoroughly enjoyed this film. I cannot wait for part 2. I can go on and on, but then this video will probably be an hour long. And I have chicken grease on the oven right now. Gotta go fry some chicken. I'm making fried chicken sandwiches tonight.
Yeah, I gotta get ready recording like an hour.
Yeah.
And a half.
I mean, guys, you heard it here. Tosh has seen the film. If you were on the live stream about a week ago, he did not want to be spoiled with nothing. So I'm glad he got to experience this film. We've been
talking
waiting
to you about that after this recording.
We've been waiting, and it's finally here. I can't wait to get the Blu-ray. I'm getting all the special. I need extended I need the director's cut.
I hope they do that. Like, just release like a 3-4 hour version of it.
Just with the stuff that you can put in the film.
Yeah, the stuff that I mean, even then, like Diana Ross, you're going to get paid. I don't know why it's probably some stuff she don't want to come.
Everybody knows about Diana already. Like, I don't know why she's trying to treat it like a secret.
Like, dude, we know. He ain't make that song Dirty Diana for nothing.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know what you mean. Yeah.
But all in all, this movie's a hit. Everybody knows that. But let us know in the comment sections. I mean, you all have let us know what you think about our thoughts. Let us know what you want to see in part 2. And we'll catch you guys next time.
Peace.
Like, follow, all that good stuff. Bye.